Let's get it started. Welcome. This is session 3. I cannot believe we are already halfway through these book talk sessions. This is Jaleesa the Golden Child, and this is my way or idea of really supporting people with working through the concepts in my book, The Freedom Framework, and really being able to understand and integrate the Freedom Framework into their lives so that it's not just, oh, I have these tools for my toolkit, but they're actually able to use them and implement them in a way that helps them get to a more free and abundant life. So that is the reason why I did this book talk. This is my very first one. And even though I self-published this book in 2018, it literally still is impacting lives, it's changing lives, and it is impacting my life every single time I read it. I get something new that Holy Spirit or God, Yeshua, drops into my spirit about it. Yes, their beliefs have changed, ideas have changed, the way that I think has changed throughout the years, but this freedom framework is literally, yes, and the freedom framework has changed throughout the years, but even just the way that it is in this book, it has been something that has helped me to overcome and get through and really live the life that I desire and that I deserve. So, of course, for those that are here on YouTube, for those that are watching the replay, for those that are here live, I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. I appreciate you for continuing to show up for me, continuing to show up for the things that I offer, the opportunities for me to share the gifts, the talents, the wisdom, the knowledge that God has given me. So, again, this is session 3 of the It's All in Me book talk. If you missed session 1 and session 2, it is on my YouTube channel. And if there's a playlist now that I've created where you can watch all of them right together, and this one will be added as well. Week 1, I will go back, kind of recap, but this whole experience has been absolutely phenomenal. So make sure that you go back and watch the replays on my YouTube page at Jaleesa the Golden Child, and everything is there. I have some other content there, and I will share more about that later. But again, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching the replay. So again, welcome to session 3 of the It's All in Me book talk, where it all began. And I say where it all began because this book is literally where my business started. And ever since writing and self-publishing this book, my life has completely changed. So I'm sharing this book and behind the scenes of how I even got to this point. I shared a little bit about that in session 1. So go back to session 1, watch the replay so that you can kind of get the behind the scenes of where this book came from and how it came to be. But in the chat, whether you're on YouTube or here in the Zoom, please introduce yourself. Let us know where you're from, what you do, and what you hope to gain or bring to the session today. So there's always something that you can bring to a space. It's never by happenstance that you're in a space or a place. But if you desire to, bring something to the session, share it in the chat. Let us know where you're from, what you do, and what you hope to gain or bring to the session today. Let me check the chat. And if you see me looking up and down, it's because I am on 2 different devices. Hey, Tia. Hey, Tracy. Thank you, ladies, for joining me tonight. Tracy, New Jersey teacher, bringing encouragement, positive attitude, open mind, willingness to learn more about you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Tia from Louisiana. I live in Georgia. I work customer service position from home. Yes, work from home. Okay, I love it. Hoping to gain more insight about you.
And yes, hey, I was trying to say hey back, but I was typing. But hey, y'all,
no worries.
Everyone.
Yes, thank y'all so much. So, Tia and Tracy, y'all know y'all been here before, so y'all know this whole spiel or rundown. But for those that don't know, I'm Minister Jaleesa Hardy, and I'm a child of you. I'm a child of God. I am also known as Jaleesa the Golden Child. I am the co-organizer for the Mental Health Social, the organizer for Single Mom Society, and both of those groups are on Meetup.com. I sometimes say that like people know, but I had a conversation with somebody the other day, and they're like, "What's Meetup?" But yeah, Meetup.com is where I'm the co-organizer for the Mental Health Social and the organizer for Single Mom Society. So check us out on there. I am a survivor and single mother of 3. I have a 5-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 2-year-old. I'm a global speaker and trauma of money certified professional. I am a board certified holistic health practitioner, human design expert, and Reiki master and teacher. Oh, Lord have mercy. I'm a publisher. I recently really branched out to start supporting more people with self-publishing their books, journals, planners, cookbooks, ebooks, and the like. So if you desire to self-publish with ease and have the support, community, and accountability behind your desire and your dream to self-publish, then holla at your girl, okay? I am a self-published author of It's All in Me, While You're Here, My Journey to Freedom and Living Abundantly, and that I will start working on the 2nd edition of this book next month. I'm super excited. I literally just downloaded some stuff into my spirit one day when I just sat and got quiet. And I'm like, I was not planning on writing another book anytime soon. But tell God your plans, okay? And he gonna laugh at you every single time, because next month I will begin the process of kind of sharing more about the evolution of the freedom framework that came from my first book and how I've evolved and changed and learned throughout these past 7 years since I self-published the first edition. I also self-published my 30-day calm life planner. So if you just want support around making better decisions, having a more calm mind, having a less chaotic life, then the 30-day calm life planner is definitely for you. It has supported me and some of my clients that have used it with being able to see more clearly about their decision making, see more clearly about the next steps of their life, of their businesses, of with their kids, with school, jobs, all of those things. So it is supported for every single area of your life if you desire to have more peace and calm in your life. So check that out. Both my books are on Amazon as well as on my website, jaleesahardy.com. I have a bachelor's degree in biology, general chemistry, and natural health. I am a poet, singer, and songwriter for the Voices of Survival Choir, and that is in Howard County, Maryland. And it is through Hope Works Howard County. I was born in Buffalo, New York, and I live in Glen Burnie, Maryland. I'm a doula in training, and I am just Jaleesa. There's only one me in the entire world. Only one person that has my fingerprint. Only one person that has my DNA. Only one person that has my experiences, my background, and the same goes for each and every one of you. There's only one you. I like to really think about the world as a big puzzle, and you are the puzzle piece that the world needs. Okay, without you being your most authentic self, there's something missing from this world. So if you're struggling to find your purpose, you don't have to find it. You are your purpose. So I always, in my introduction with that, because me being me and being my most authentic self, I feel like I inspire and encourage other people to do the same. And by doing that, we literally shift things and change things within the entire world, because whether we see it, know it or not, our existence impacts the entire world. So we're bigger than just us. Upcoming events, November 29th, we have our Black Women Journaling Social in the Mental of Social. Again, our next book talk is December 3rd at 7 p.m. That's our 4th session. We have 3 more after this. The Healed Money Movement Meet and Greet, that is a newer membership that I am in the process of launching. It is for people that desire to really heal their relationship with money. It came from an experience that I had recently where there was some fraud on my account. And instead of me panicking and being worried or stressed out about the situation, about the money that the person used to do their Christmas shopping at Temu and Walmart and Shein, I literally just prayed for the person and sent them love and positive energy, because I know that someone who wakes up at 1 o'clock in the morning, or, is up at 1 o'clock in the morning stealing from people, is a broken person. So I sent them Reiki energy. I prayed for them. I sent them love, so that hopefully, this experience will, and the love that I sent them, the healing energy that I sent them will shift something in them that they don't have the desire to even do that anymore. So having that experience and realizing how far I've come in my relationship with money, and again, sitting down and getting quiet, using my calm method, I heard from God that it's for me to really support other people with healing their relationship with money so that they can live the free and abundant lives that they desire to live and not allow financial inconveniences to cause them to completely be derailed or completely mentally, just out of sorts. So that is where the Heal Money movement came from. It's $22 a month. I wanted to make it accessible for people to be able to join and be supported in healing their relationship with money. She's Ready Society is also a monthly membership. You can do a yearly option as well, but that's specifically for women that desire to self-publish. I have 2 tiers, general membership and gold membership. Done with you services with the general tier, and then done for you services with the gold tier and your self-publishing project. And then more recently, having a conversation with the co-organizer for the Mental Wealth Social, she asked me about doing a workshop on vision and clarity and direction for 2025. And by God's design is something that God gave me back in April. And I started it, but didn't really follow through with it. So he brought this back to me by God's design, vision, clarity, and direction for 2025. That's December 8th. And I'm super excited about what God showed me is going to occur in this workshop. So yeah, definitely if you're not on my email list, I send out an email update reminder with the links and all of that every single Monday. So you can keep up to date with the events that myself and my groups and organizers have coming up. So this is a little bit more about the Golden Child and what we offer. I already mentioned the Heal Money movement. I mentioned She's Ready Society. The books I mentioned, you're at the book talk. I have the How to Self-Publish with Ease Masterclass that is now on my website for sale. From Manuscript to Masterpiece, that is the pros and cons to self-publishing guide. It's a free guide that's on my website. And then if you really you want to self-publish, but you don't necessarily know where to start, if you need do done with you services or done for you services, or even if you just want some DIY stuff, the Birth Your Book consultation is where you start with that process with me. So that's what we offer. There's also some other freebies. You can get your human design chart from my website, and that is a tool for self-discovery and really understanding and walking in your most authentic self. And that's something that has truly changed my life and how I parent, how I do business, everything about it, just being my most authentic self and doing things in a way that is aligned with the life that I desire. So I mentioned this earlier, as far as our YouTube channel, I am in the process of working towards monetizing our YouTube page. Just to have, not just to have, but to build up an additional stream of income for myself, for my children to be able to, again, live my dream life, live the life that I desire, to continue to stay home, homeschool my kids. And of course, it's free to support, like, subscribe, share, watch videos, share it with your friends and family so that we can reach our goal of monetizing our YouTube channel by my birthday, February 18th. So to put it into perspective of that, we have made tremendous progress this past week. And I'm super excited about just all the things that God has been showing me, all the content he's been giving me for YouTube. So it's at Delisa the Golden Child again on YouTube. So please like, share, subscribe, watch the videos, and give me feedback, because I want to be providing content that people actually want to watch. So definitely give me feedback on that as well. So as I mentioned, the first week, and we talked about the introduction in chapter 1, and that was on faith. The introduction was really giving you the background for the book and where everything came from and how the freedom framework came to be. We discussed these questions: what role has faith played in your life journey so far? And how do you stay grounded in your beliefs even when facing challenges? And as I mentioned, This book is, I didn't mention it in this video, but this book is not only just a book with content and things that I've written. At the end of each chapter, there are reflection questions for you to reflect and further integrate the information from the different aspects of the freedom framework. And I also incorporated a prayer at the end of each chapter as well on the specific topic of the chapter. Of course, the home play for that week was to read chapter 2. And if you signed up through my website, you should have received the introduction and the first chapter free to your email. Chapter 2 was friends and family and friends, and that now has shifted a little bit in the new freedom framework. I just call it fellowship because just it flows a little better. But this chapter we discussed how have family and friends influenced your growth and choices. What boundaries, if any, have you found necessary to maintain healthy relationships? Home play from last week was to read chapter 3 and watch a video on forgiveness. There is a video that I will actually drop the link to in the chat. But this really shifted my perspective around what true forgiveness is and the process of forgiveness as it pertains to what the Bible says about forgiveness. And not just man's interpretation of what forgiveness is or how forgiveness is used as a manipulation tactic by some people. So chapter 3 again was on forgiveness and forgetfulness. And this chapter and this idea of forgiveness, as I wrote about it in my book, it served its purpose for the time that I understood it the way that I did. Because when I wrote this book originally, I was about to enter one of the most challenging and traumatic times in my life. And I didn't realize just how much God had not only given me this book to write for other people to benefit from and experience the freedom from the freedom framework. It was literally what guided me through that time frame when I got married and entered into an abusive marriage. And I was so used to dysfunction. I was so used to chaos. I was so used to abuse. I didn't even see it for what it was. So it took me going through this process of, one, having the right fellowship, having the right family and friends, the right therapist in my life to be able to see that I was so used to pain. I became immune to it to the point where I was numb to it. I was numb to pain. I was numb to the abuse because it was like, I didn't been through XYZ. I've done this. I've done that. This has happened to me. And for me, it was like, oh, it's not that bad. I can handle this. It's not that bad. But until I realized the impact of my numbness to it, my lack of awareness to the dysfunction and the chaos, how that was going to impact my children. And once it did start to impact my children, I knew that I had to make a change. I knew that I had to make a shift and not only forgive the person that was hurting us, I had to forgive myself for the decision that I made. And that was it was the hardest experiences, but it was one of the times where I can say was a pivotal moment in my freedom journey, because I blame myself for so much because I didn't see it. I overlooked it. I swept things under the rug. I wrote things off, or, try to give people the benefit of the doubt. You love somebody, like, well, we can work through it. I can try to do better with this, or I can try to change this, and I can try to do that to make them love me, or to make them not be upset, or to walk on eggshells because this person is so explosive all the time. So I'm just going to not say anything. I'm going to keep my mouth shut to keep the peace. Not realizing that I didn't have my inner peace because I was trying to keep the peace in my environment. So the more that I tried to keep the peace in my environment, the more chaos and just being unsettled was stirred up in my spirit and in my being, where I really became a shell of myself. I just was surviving. I was just getting by. I was just making it day to day on autopilot, not realizing the impact that it was having on my kids, seeing me like that on a day-to-day basis, not being who I desire to be for them or for myself. So for me, forgiveness, the most important person for me to forgive was myself. Because I realized that people can only do to me what I allow. And me not loving myself, me not caring for myself, me not really seeing myself the way that God sees me, I allowed so many things to happen in my life. I put myself in so many situations that had I seen myself the way God sees me, I wouldn't have even thought twice before walking away, leaving, not even going into situations that now I have the ability to see even before I get too deep. It's like I'll see it in the beginning. It's like, nope, we're not doing this again. We're not walking down that path. I'm not giving a benefit of the doubt. If I see a red flag or something I don't like, something that doesn't feel right, I'm gonna keep it moving. So for me, forgiveness, my process with forgiveness, yes, of course, I forgave my ex-husband. We're, rebuilding our friendship to be able to co-parent effectively. But the way he wants it to be, as far as going back to being together and being married, it'll never be that. It'll never be that, because the version of myself that I was with him, I don't ever want to be that again. So he can change. He can say he's changed. He can say he's, doing X, Y, Z. But for me, um, I'm good on that. So, just my whole journey with forgiveness, it really started with me, because until I could truly forgive myself, it was so hard for me to forgive other people, and also receiving forgiveness from God as well. So being able to say, like, man, like, I messed up, I made wrong decisions, I knew certain things I shouldn't have done, but it was like I had to be open to receiving forgiveness from God. But this video that I posted in the chat shifted even my understanding of forgiveness and what it looks like and what it is. So definitely, if you have not gotten a chance, watch the video if you want. It should be in an email sequence, if I'm not mistaken. But I'll make sure that this video is added to the email sequence if it's not, for those that join later on. Join the challenge later on, or if you want it, just email me hello@jaleesahardy.com. But before we get into the discussion questions, I wanted to pause. My day has been long. It's been a long day. Definitely did not go as planned, but I made it here with you all tonight. I said, this is, if nothing else, I'm gonna make it here for y'all tonight. So thank you to those that joined. Thank you to those that are watching on YouTube, those that will watch the replay. I appreciate y'all. I continue to show up because you all continue to show up. So thank you, thank you so much. But I just wanted to pause, give us some time to breathe and just release anything that might be distracting us, anything that might have come up, even as I was discussing the different parts of the freedom framework and sharing my experience, my journey, my testimony. But I wanted to pause and take some deep breaths before we get into the discussion questions. And as I always say, take what you need. If you need to take a deeper breath, take a deeper breath. you need to take a shorter breath or a more shallow breath, take what you need, give your body what it needs in this moment. I will give the cues to breathe in and release, but again, take what you need, release what you need, and inhale what it is that you need in this moment to be present and able to receive as well as give what it is for you to give to this session tonight. All right, breathe in. Release. Breathe in. Release. Breathe in. Release. Two more. Breathe in. Release. Last one, be intentional about releasing all tension, all stress, anything that you may have picked up that no longer serves you in this moment or moving forward. And inhale and release. You can stretch your neck if you need to. Do some circles. Stretch your arms, move your body around if you need to. Open your eyes. Reorient yourself to the room. And thank you for that. That time to pause and to breathe. It always makes a difference for me. So I hope it made a difference for you as well. So was there any... Oh, you're welcome, Trace. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all too. So was there anything as I was sharing my story, my experiences, recapping the different sessions, was there anything that came up for you all before we get into the discussion questions? Or do you have any questions for me about what I do, about my story, my experiences, anything like that?
I have a question. Like forgiveness, have you come to terms with what that really means to you? Because people, you hear the thing is forgiveness is for you. It's not for anybody else. Like, uh, how's that process been for you? Like, can you say you've fully forgiven, everything and like for yourself? Like, oh, it's a little muffly, Jaleesa.
Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. I definitely say that forgiveness is a journey. Because there will be experiences where you'll forgive someone, you'll forgive yourself, you'll forgive an incident or situation or circumstance, and other situations will trigger your memory of that experience.
Mm.
So it might be necessary for you to go back and forgive again because that new situation has brought something up from an old situation. And your response or reaction to the new situation might be amplified because it's like, oh, I know what this is.
Mm.
I know what this is.
Mm.
Like, I'm not doing this again. Nope.
Right.
And they probably like, that was not my intention. I had this experience in my most recent, the relationship that I was in after my ex-husband. He was like, I'm not, he had like reminded me, he's like, I'm not him. Like, your response or reaction to me is as if I'm doing exactly what you experienced in your marriage. And for me, that made me realize I still have some forgiving to do. I still have some healing to do. And it might not be forgiveness, it might just be the healing journey that you need to go through in order to be fully healed and get to the other side of that thing, so that you won't be re-triggered or re-traumatized when you run into similar situations. So for me, it has definitely been a journey. And especially when you still got to deal with the people that you're healing from. Okay. People don't talk about that. Okay. They talk about the forgiveness. They talk about, the journey of, breakups and divorces and all of that. But my experience, I had 3 kids with this man. One who was named after him. So I'm literally working on healing from this person that I cannot fully disconnect from ever.
Right.
Like, there's never going to be a time where I'm not connected to this man because we have children together. So that's been one of the harder things for me, because it's like, man, like, I'm used to being able to cut people off, do my healing, and keep it moving. Like, we can cut ties and I could do my healing journey. But this situation has been one of the hardest experiences with forgiveness and healing, because I can't ever disconnect from him completely. Even if I, limit communication or whatever the case may be, I still, whether we exchanging kids or he coming to see the kids or the kids want to see him, it's never going to be a time where I don't have to deal with this man. It might be different levels, but once my kids have kids, we're going to be grandparents together.
Right.
So it's like, my journey, I feel like, has been mainly because it doesn't necessarily have to be longer, but it's a little bit harder, again, because I still have to have some type of relationship with this man that literally abused me in every single way possible. So to turn around and say, man, like, I forgive you, and still celebrating holidays, birthdays, all that stuff with you, people are like, how you even like be around him? Because I've forgiven him. I've forgiven him. I've healed past the point where he can trigger me. His words, actions, lack thereof, can no longer trigger me, because I've healed past that point. I've forgiven past that point. Yes, there are times where I'm like, I just want to. Can we fight, please? But it's like that forgiveness is a journey. It's a journey. Every situation and circumstance is going to be different, depending on where you are, depending on where that person is, depending on the situation that happened. Like, it's going to be different. It's always going to be a different experience. And as you grow and as you learn and as you have other relationships with people, whether it's an intimate relationship or a friendship or a different family member, it's like there are going to be instances where you like, ooh, that remind me of this person, or what happened with this person, and I need to go back and do some more healing work. I need to do some more forgiveness work. And more recently, I've been doing a lot of energetic work around limiting beliefs and the stories that keep us really stuck in life and stuck in spaces and places where we're repeating the same thing. Because I realized with my ex-husband, I was literally, in my relationships prior to him, it was the same guy, just a different face every single time. Wow. And until I did the work to heal and move past that version of me that attracted those types of men, I was going to continue that cycle. I was never going to be able to run away from it. It was always going to be that, because I didn't do the work to release the stories that I was only worthy of that type of relationship, that I would
Mm,
never be worthy of more, that I would never be able or capable or enough to have a man that loved me fully and completely and didn't abuse me.
mm.
So, did that answer your question?
That did and gave me insight and also kind of caused another question. Like, you know how you said you kind of dated the same person over and over again and not trying to like compare people to things in the past because it's triggering. Like, well, it could be beneficial too, 'cause you know how they say look for the red flags. And you know those red flags because you may have had those experiences before. Like, I guess if you could, I could take away some good and bad from like the past experiences, not necessarily making it like baggage or comparing to like other people that may have wronged you or whatever, but certain things, certain familiar ways person act like, oh no, I know that. That's not a good sign. Let me exit the door. Like, uh, I guess
Absolutely.
it kind of works together in a way.
Yes, absolutely. If we choose to sit back and look and analyze our relationships, there's always wisdom, a message, and a blessing that comes from even the most traumatic and abusive experiences. If we choose to see it that way, if we choose to really analyze it and go back and say, oh, this is what I learned, this is how I grew, this is what I'm not going to allow moving forward. And like you said, being able to see a red flag for a red flag. Atira, I'm on the phone and you hear me talking. Stop. No, ma'am. Um, so yeah, it definitely it just depends on how you use it. It's a tool.
Mm, right.
Every experience is a tool. It just depends on how you use it. If you choose to use it in a beneficial way for the next relationship or the next situation or circumstance, then it's going to be beneficial for you. If you choose to use it as this as a tool in the wrong situation or
Mm,
becoming a victim versus a victor, or becoming, someone who chooses to use these situations and circumstances to say, well, you know, I'm going to be this way because of my experiences. A lot of people make excuses, use their experiences as excuses to say, oh, I'm hurt, oh, I'm broken.
hmm.
Well, I'm going to go around hurting other people. I'm going to go around
Yeah.
broken situations and circumstances because I've been hurt.
Mm,
So if you choose to use it as a tool to harm other people, then that's what you choose to do. But it's an opportunity for you to use it as a tool that is going to be beneficial for you and your next relationships.
right. Right.
Um,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Can I kind of piggyback on that question? This is Tracy over here. I have a question, and I wrote a little bit of it in the chat too. When you say forgiveness, right, and you say that you forgive him, can you give me like besides the fact of saying I forgive him, and I got from what you were talking about a little bit of it, like healing trauma and patterns for yourself. But what did you do to actually forgive him to the point that you can be around him? Besides the fact I know your kids, did you like set expectations for yourself and be like, no, I might choose to forgive myself, or was there exact tools that you use or thought process? What did you do for forgiveness? Like be more specific if you can.
Yeah, it was definitely tools. I did a lot of reading. I actually did a whole forgiveness coaching process that really helped me to understand what forgiveness was, and understanding that forgiveness is different from reconciliation, and understanding that it starts with a decision. When I decided to forgive and not hold on to the hurt, not hold on to the pain, and decide that, you know what, yes, I've been hurt, but I'm now choosing and deciding to heal from this. I'm now choosing and deciding, like I said, to use it as a tool that's going to benefit me and other people versus as a tool that's going to continue to tear me down and tear other people down. So it started with that decision to forgive. It started with this, with even the mindset shift of, okay, I'm going to continue to be a victim, I'm going to continue to be hurt, I'm going to continue to use this opportunity, use this experience as an excuse to not be my best self, or to put off the purpose that God has put into my life. So it started with that decision and really shifting my mindset and getting into this space. Now, I would say now it's been more about really hearing from God about what forgiveness is to look like in different situations. Because it's not going to ever be this, oh, this, and this. But like I said, that video, the one that I dropped in the chat, it'll definitely shift your perspective on what that even looks like according to the Bible, and understanding that I don't want to spoil the video, but we don't even necessarily have the authority to forgive. That's not for us to do. So when we like I said, go watch the video. You'll understand. Once you watch the video, you can be like, oh, that's what she was talking about. But every situation in life is going to look different. So it's not necessarily, oh, this is the first, like the first step I would definitely say is to make a decision. But once you make the decision and realize that, you know what, every single thing that has happened in our life, everything that has happened to us was for our good, whether it felt good or not. Whether it was good in the moment or not, every situation or circumstance is a part of the masterpiece that is who we are, and that is our life. I say it all the time, and y'all probably heard me say it. A masterpiece requires mess. And when we're in the middle of the mess, when we're in the middle of the chaos, when we're in the middle of the dysfunction and abuse, we can't see it that way. We can't see it as something that even those situations and circumstances can be used for our good. So the process of forgiveness is going to be different for all of us. It's going to be different for every situation. But the specific thing, the pivotal moment for me in my forgiveness journey was realizing that it started with the decision. Because if you look at the meaning of decision, it means to cut off any other option. So when you decide, you're cutting off any other option to hold on to unforgiveness. You're cutting off the possibility to hold a grudge, to really try to, what I really wanted was, when we're hurt, we want that other person to feel the pain that we've experienced. In some shape, form, or fashion, we want our get back. We want to get our lick back. Okay? We want to see them hurt the same way. That's really what unforgiveness is about. Holding on to this situation and circumstance because we want to see this person in pain or feel what we feel, or to even just understand the magnitude of the pain that they've caused us. In some way, to be able to see and understand, and hopefully we desire for these people to change. Because for me, I'll say for me personally, the only way somebody can hurt me and hurt me deeply is if I love them. If I don't have no feelings towards you, when it ain't that deep, you can't hurt me because you don't have that access to me. The only people that can get to this point in our lives where we need to forgive them, I won't say that, because there are people that do things on a day-to-day basis that need to be forgiven. But when it comes for me, like I want this person to feel what I felt. Hold on, did it? I think my recording just went off. Oh, it still says it's live. Okay, it's still live streaming. Where I wanted that person to feel what I felt, it was because I loved them. And I loved them to the point where I was putting them before myself and allowing them to do things, say things, and act in a way that was only beneficial for them. So for me, that whole process of forgiveness, specifically with my ex-husband, was deciding to forgive, accepting him for who he is and where he was, realizing that hurt people hurt people. And by trying to love someone who was broken, pouring into a broken cup, is you're not going to get anywhere if they're not doing the work to heal. You can pour and pour and pour and pour, and the love and the care and the whatever you pour into them, it's only going to fall to the wayside because they don't have the capacity for it. So whatever you do, it's never going to be enough for a broken person. So for me, I no longer wanted to be filling up a broken cup for him or for myself. So I had to make the decision to forgive, accept him for who and where he was and where he is, and acknowledge my part in the situation. Because again, I realized people can only hurt me if I allow them to. People can only do but so much to me if I give them access to me in that way. So I gave someone access to me and to my heart and to my life who I knew didn't have the capacity to hold it, didn't have the capacity to be a safe space for me. So I had to acknowledge my part in the situation. And from there, it was a matter of being able to shift my mindset and shift my perspective around the whole situation to see the benefits, to see the blessings that came out of it. More than just my children, I grew and I learned so much in my marriage that I now am able to move forward in other relationships, a better and more healed version of myself. Had I not had those experiences, I wouldn't have grown in those ways at such a rapid pace, okay? Because it was definitely a lot of experiences that I had in a short amount of time because we were only married for 3 years. Yes, we were together in college, but being on a college campus with somebody and living with somebody in the same space, two completely different things. Two completely different things. So that experience definitely changed me. It definitely grew me up in a way that I wouldn't have otherwise. But I had to choose to grow. I had to choose to move forward and see the blessings and the messages that came from those experiences. But again, every situation when it comes to forgiveness is going to be different. And when you watch this video, you're going to see like, oh, okay. Okay, I get it. There are things that are required even to receive forgiveness. So go watch that video and get back to me at the next session. You're gonna be like, girl, that's what you was talking about. Thanks so much for sharing the vulnerability. I hate you and appreciate you. I'm definitely getting lots of gems how to heal and forgive. It all starts with a decision and advice to be a masterpiece. It requires mess, girl. Yes. Once I realized that, I'm like, you know what? I get it. I get it. I understand. I get it. I accept the mess. I embrace the mess because I know it's all a part of the process. It's a part of the masterpiece that is my life. That is who I am. Every single experience, just like let me go ahead and get my merch line up. Let me go ahead and get my t-shirt line up and power. Y'all drop. Look, okay, I'm a manifesting generator. Okay, so y'all giving me something to respond to. Okay, let me go ahead and drop these. Okay, masterpieces require best t-shirts. But let me see. I see some people in the chat on YouTube. Okay, you're welcome, love. I appreciate you. Um, but again, forgiveness is a journey, okay? It is a journey. It is something that we're going to continue to learn. And even after you watch the video, I really encourage people to really study for themselves and really see and sit down and get quiet to hear from God, source, higher power about these concepts that we've been taught a certain way for so long, or we might have even had people try to even manipulate us with the I'm sorry. My bad, y'all. My alarm just went off. That try to manipulate us with the I'm sorries or the I apologize, and thinking that that should be enough. All right, I said I'm sorry. You that should be enough. Like, move, get over it. Like, no, no, it's more to it. So watch that video, go watch that video, and definitely give me your feedback on that. But was there any other questions before we get to the discussion questions? I realize it's already 8 o'clock. All right, so we can get to the discussion questions. First question is, what does forgiveness mean to you, and how has it impacted your journey? So if you really think about your journey, your experiences with forgiveness, what does it mean to you, and how has it impacted your journey? And y'all can just come off mute or drop it in the chat. Either one is fine. And I was talking about this a little while ago with one of my friends, and people talk about turning the other cheek. And it's like, look, I only got 2 cheeks. I got to keep turning them back and forth and allowing you to hit me, and it'd be okay. Like, for me, forgiveness, yes, girl, pack light. Okay. Letting go, moving forward, not forgetting, but packing light, like Erica Badu said. Yeah. Unforgiveness is definitely baggage. Okay. It's baggage. It's unnecessary burdens that we carry around. Ooh, I just thought about something. I'm also reading this book right now. I wish I had the physical book so I could like highlight this part of it. But he was talking about how when we hold unforgiveness and resentment towards someone, we're really trying to rectify a situation that is never going to be changed. We're trying to get back at someone for something that can never be undone. It's like, when you think about it like that, it's like, man, like, it's kind of pointless to hold on to unforgiveness and resentment towards people, because what's done is done. It can't be changed. They can't take it back, regardless if they meant to do it or not. It's not something that holding on to unforgiveness is going to ever change. The past is the past. It's not for us to, hold on to and try to rectify a situation that can't be changed. It's for us to, like Tia said, let go and move forward. And like you said, it's not about forgetting, because you don't want to forget. You don't want to forget the lessons from the situation. You just want to heal from the pain that it caused, so that you're not continuing to be triggered by the situation or this person. Forgiveness, releasing pain and anger from the person, not forgetting, but allowing compassion. Yes. And that was one of the things that really helped me in this whole experience with my ex-husband. Like I said, like, hurt people hurt people. People can only do what do I say all the time? It's like understanding that people do the best that they can with what they have. If someone has not been given forgiveness, or have not even allowed themselves to receive forgiveness or love, or just how people grow up, how people are raised, it's like thinking about all of these things that comprised of this person's experience, and understanding that this person does the best that they can with what they have. It doesn't mean that you have to accept or stick around. It just means that you're understanding and have that compassion for them, to know that this person is broken, and the only thing that they can bring into a relationship is brokenness. And you get to choose to accept it, or you get to choose to walk away. But if you accept it and know that this person is broken, then it's only your responsibility, or your heart, or your brokenness in that situation. We can love people so much. We can love people to the point where we're sacrificing ourselves for them. But in the end, that love is pretty much wasted, because they cannot receive something that they've never even given themselves. And that was one of the things that I realized about my ex-husband. He didn't love himself, so he could not love me. I always want to be forgiven, so I have to do that for people, for other people as well. Absolutely. We have been forgiven for so much. We have been forgiven time and time again for things, with other people, with God, with source, with higher power. We've been able to be forgiven for so many things. So it is definitely, it's keeping the flow of forgiveness moving forward. When we receive it, we have it to give to others. All right. So next question. How we already been talking about this. How do you balance remembering past experiences with moving forward? And we definitely already talked about that. But I'm going to hear from you all. How do you balance remembering past experiences with moving forward? Because it's only but so much. Like I have the ability to, and I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but because I've had so many traumatic experiences, I'm able to really block out memories of things until I'm triggered. So I might forget in the moment, and then I'll have an experience or something to come up, and then I'll be like, oh, that's why I don't deal with that person no more. Or that's what happened with this person. And so for me, I can forget for a time. And I probably have like selective memory too. But balancing past experiences with moving forward, like Tia said, I don't want to carry this baggage with me. I don't want to carry the baggage of unforgiveness. I don't want to carry the bag of hurt. I don't want to carry the bag of resentment. I don't want to carry the bag of anger. All of those things contribute to our health, our mental health, our physical health. Every emotion is attached to an organ. So when we hold on to unforgiveness, it is affecting our body in a way that we don't want it to. that we might not even experience until later on down the line. So the more that we hold on to things that don't ever or have never served us or no longer serve us, yes, we have these experiences and we want to know, again, like Tia said, like how to move forward and not go through this experience again. We have those memories of those experiences because it's like, okay, we don't want to keep repeating the cycle. But doing it in a way where it's going to be beneficial for your health and not a detriment to your health. Because they say the body keeps the score. When you start to experience the headaches, you start to experience the GI issues, you start to experience the heart challenges. And a lot of people at young ages are going through cancer, going through all of these different diseases and disorders, and they're not linking it to their experiences. They're not linking it to the trauma because it's like, oh, we're just going to focus on the physical. But everything that is in the physical didn't start here. So we got to really trace back and get to the root of what's really going on. What's really the cause of this disease? What's really the cause of this disorder? Because it's not just something physical most of the time. So for me, it's just been remembering, like, I don't want to hold on to things. I don't want to harbor things that are going to hold me back, that is going to slow me down, that is going to keep me from achieving the things that I desire to achieve and keep me from having the relationships that I desire to have. Because the more that I hold on to the hurt and the unforgiveness for this person, the more it's going to spill over into my relationships, my next relationship or my next partnership or my next business, partnership is going to spill over. It's going to come out eventually that you're holding on to these things. Because relationships have the ability and the capacity to amplify what's inside of you. Whether it's an intimate relationship, a family relationship, a friendship, relationships are meant to amplify who you are and what is on the inside of you. If you are willing to open up and share what's going on, what you've been through, really in therapy has been one of the having the right therapist. I'm gonna say having the right therapist because I done had a lot of therapists, okay, throughout the years. But until I found the right therapist, I wasn't able to release and move forward from the things that I was experiencing because I couldn't see clearly. I couldn't really understand why I was acting the way that I was acting, or where those beliefs came from, or where these ideas of men came from. So therapy and the energetic work that I've been doing to uncover and release limiting beliefs and stories, that's been a game changer. Because I had this experience recently where I was in therapy and my therapist was like, girl, you got a lot going on. I'm gonna need to see you every week. It went from every 2 weeks to every week. And then once I started really getting into the energetic work and really understanding the different stories and the beliefs that was keeping me from moving forward, that was when it was like a quantum leap in my healing journey. It was a quantum leap in my just my mindset, my beliefs, where I was. And a week later, I went to therapy and she like, oh, girl, you a completely different person. She like, it's been a week and you're a completely different person. So for me, therapy and doing the energetic work that I do, it's definitely been a game changer to move forward without being held back by the memories of past experiences. Let me check the chat. Receiving and bringing it forward to the next person, just like what you were saying. Yeah, absolutely. It's like we gotta really take these experiences that we have and use them for our benefit and not allow them to become baggage. taking these experiences and making them beneficial for our next step, for our next phase, for our next relationship, instead of it being baggage. We don't want to be bag lady. We don't want to be the ones that's always, broken or hurt or the victim in every situation, or the one that's so guarded that we're blocking out the love that people desire to give us because we've been hurt so much. So it's definitely about understanding that balance of vulnerability, of openness. There's always going to be a risk of being hurt. There's always going to be a risk of, having to be in situations where you got to forgive or be forgiven. But when we try to block out or prevent those situations from happening, we're blocking out the love, we're blocking out the blessings that come from those experiences. So it's definitely important to have that balance and knowing that, my past experiences can be beneficial if I allow them to be. Did anybody else want to respond? Let me check YouTube. But yeah, it's definitely a journey. It is a journey. We out here winging it for real. But it makes it so much easier because I don't have all the answers. I really don't. Yes, I have my experiences. I have the things that I've gone through, how I've overcome. But, that's why I call it the freedom framework, because you put your experiences, you put your understanding, your beliefs into the framework to make it work for you, and even add things to it, take away from it. Like, it's not this step by step, oh, you got to do it like this. These are tools that you can use and implement into your life. But for me, it's just literally been this freedom framework that has truly helped me to become who I am today, to be in front of you, even sharing about my life, sharing about my experiences from a healed place versus a broken place where I'm still bitter, where I'm still resentful, where I'm still holding on to unforgiveness. It's like, you know what? I can even thank them for and pray for them and send blessings their way, because it's like, you know what? Had I not had this experience, I would have missed out on this lesson. I would have missed out on this wisdom. I would have missed out on this growth. Although it was not a desirable experience, I get to choose how I perceive it, and I get to choose how I respond to it. So, if there's nothing else on the discussion questions, I want to remind you that if you have not gotten your I'm drawing a blank, your copy of the book, it is on Amazon in print version and ebook version. It'll probably be easier to get the ebook so that you can, continue to follow along. And it's probably cheaper. I don't know. It might be a sale on Amazon. I don't know. Last time I looked, it was on sale, the print book. But like I said, at the end of each chapter, there are reflection questions that you can dive deeper into this conversation around forgiveness. But make sure that you watch that video so that at the next session, or even if you might miss the next session, we can, email me so we can discuss it if you have any questions. So give me your feedback. Let me know how this was. Let me know what you might see differently or see less of at the next session. And then your home play is to read chapter 4, where we'll be discussing feeding my mind. Okay, it has shifted since to feeding my being, but you'll read in the chapter what that means. So does anybody have any feedback? Let me know. Drop one word in the chat. about your experience here tonight. Gems. I love it. Again, we have 3 more sessions. At the end, we will be doing a giveaway. I'll have a feedback form for everyone to fill out. If you signed up, you will receive it via email. So even if, this was your only session that you're able to attend, it'll all be on YouTube in the playlist. So you'll be able to catch up or, later on go back to watch it. But you should receive an email with the feedback form where you'll be asked to enter your email address if you want to be entered into our giveaway, where we have some exciting prizes. I share my offers earlier, so based off of those, there will be some giveaways. But this was session 3 of the It's All in Me book talk, where it all began. So I just want to say, as always, thank you so much just for being you, because literally just this understanding that the world needs you just as much as the world needs me. I love and appreciate you even more. Even if we never see each other again, like, you have impacted my life in a way that nobody else ever can or nobody else ever will. So I just want to say thank you for being you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for showing up for me. Thank you for responding, for answering the questions, asking questions, because again, just as I'm pouring out to you, you are pouring into me. I'm learning, I am growing, and I'm becoming a better version of myself because you're showing up to just be here in these experiences with me. So thank you. Of course, my website is jaleesahardy.com. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Again, these are live streamed and they will be added to a playlist. Over there, I have my Freedom Fridays podcast over there as well. I have an episode drop every Friday. This past month, we've been talking about healing our relationship with money. Next month, we'll do a deeper dive in the topic we talked about around direction, vision, and clarity for 2025. So stay tuned for that and Freedom Fridays. And then I also do a Storytime Saturday where I just recently really broke down the whole experience with becoming a single mom and how all of that happened with my ex-husband, which will probably be in the next book now that I think about it. But definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel. I have some different things that God is showing me to share in that space. So again, thank you so much for your support. Does anybody have anything else before we end tonight?
I'll go nothing big, but just thank you for hosting this. Thank you for the gems of information that I did learn from here. Because sometimes, because I study about forgiveness and all that other stuff, and we've been working my healing journey. And it's so nice to have a community and your vulnerability, even with all the ladies, to share. You bring a safe comfort space here. And so I thank you for that. I appreciate you all, and I appreciate you definitely. And just keep doing it because you're amazing. And I don't think you realize, I always tell you this all the time, but I don't think how amazing you are and how many women and men, but for women, especially for this call, that you're making a difference in our lives, even if I'm not on the camera. But I'm still here.
It's okay. I get it. I understand, but y'all gonna make me cry. Like, y'all just don't understand. Like, life be lifing, but I still,
You don't show it.
like, when I say I life be lifing, okay? But y'all give me the courage and the empowerment to continue to move forward, to continue to show up, because y'all show y'all love, y'all show y'all support, and it just helps keep me going when it's like days where I'm like, look, I don't want to do nothing but lay in the bed. So like I said, when y'all show up, when y'all show love and give me that feedback and give me that encouragement, it keeps me going. So just know that I love y'all I see y'all and I'm so proud of y'all because y'all doing the thing too. Like I know life be lifing for all of us, but y'all continue to show up. So I appreciate y'all.
You're welcome. Thank you. The feeling is mutual. Hope y'all have a happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
All right, y'all. Good night.
Good
Good night.
night.